Chosen one, stop scrolling. What I'm about to reveal is going to completely shatter everything you thought you understood about what's been happening in your life these past few weeks. Because someone you know, someone who walks near you, someone who maybe even smiles at your face when they see you, did something in the shadows you never imagined they were capable of doing. They paid a witch to destroy you. And I'm not speaking metaphorically, I'm not using pretty spiritual language to make a point. I'm exposing a real operation that was executed against you, where your photograph was handed to someone who works with dark forces, with the specific intention of ruining your life, closing your doors, and guaranteeing you never reach what you're destined to reach. But here's what neither they nor the witch expected. Something so absurd, so completely outside any calculation they could have made, that when I reveal it, you're going to understand why certain people suddenly started acting strange around you. Why some who used to attack you just went quiet. Why opportunities that seemed permanently closed suddenly opened without any apparent reason. The witch looked at your photo, studied your image, prepared to do the job he was paid for, and something happened that left him completely paralyzed. He fell in love with your light. He couldn't attack you. He couldn't send you anything. Because what he saw when he looked at your photograph wasn't a vulnerable victim waiting to be destroyed. It was something that in all his years of dark practice he had never encountered. Something that made him question absolutely everything he thought he knew about the spiritual world. Subscribe to this channel right now and turn on all notifications, because what I'm about to reveal about what exactly that witch saw in your photograph, why your energy completely disarmed him, and what's happening right now to the people who paid to destroy you, is going to make you finally understand the level of protection operating automatically in your life. And stay until the end, because I'm going to show you exactly what the signs are that someone tried to send witchcraft against you, why nothing they send can stick to you, and what's happening at this very moment to those who conspired against you while you didn't even know you were being attacked. Write 777 in the comments if you feel in your spirit that someone has tried to harm you in ways that go beyond the visible, and you're ready to discover why absolutely none of it worked. I need you to understand something about how people around you operate when your light starts shining in ways they can't match. Because human envy has known limits. Talking bad about you behind your back, sabotaging opportunities when they can, excluding you from circles where you could grow. Those are the common weapons of those who envy you. But there exists a level of hatred so deep, so absolutely consuming, that people cross lines you never thought they'd be capable of crossing. And someone in your life crossed that line, not because you're a bad person, exactly the opposite. Because something in you constantly reminds them of everything they're not and never will be. Your way of recovering from situations that would destroy others. Your ability to maintain hope when everything indicates you should give up. That inexplicable light you radiate even when you're going through difficult moments. It makes them sick. Literally keeps them awake at night, wondering how it's possible that you keep moving forward while they drown in their own bitterness. And at some point, probably a few weeks ago, that person made a decision that sealed their own spiritual destiny. They searched for someone who works with dark forces, paid money they probably didn't even have, and handed over your photograph with specific instructions about what they wanted to happen to you. They wanted you to lose your job, for your relationships to be destroyed, for your health to deteriorate, for depression to consume you, for mental confusion to paralyze you. They wanted to see you completely defeated, crawling through life without hope, so they could finally feel superior to you. That was the plan. That was the intention behind handing your photo to dark hands. But spiritual forces don't work the way human logic assumes. And what happened when that witch took your photograph in his hands completely destroyed everything he thought he knew about his own craft. Let me explain exactly what occurred in that moment, because understanding this is going to transform how you see yourself forever. When someone who practices dark arts receives a photograph to work with, the first thing they do is study the person's energy. They look for vulnerability points, open emotional wounds, deep fears they can exploit, weak connections to the divine they can cut. They search for darkness inside you to connect their darkness with yours. That's how it works. For a spiritual attack to succeed, it needs to find resonance. It needs to find something inside you that vibrates at the same frequency as what they're sending. Hate connects with stored hate. Envy connects with unprocessed envy. Bitterness connects with hidden bitterness. That's why spiritual attacks work on most people. Because most people carry enough darkness for external darkness to find somewhere to stick. But when that witch looked at your photograph searching for those entry points, searching for that internal darkness where he could anchor his work. He found something that left him completely bewildered. He didn't find enough darkness. And I'm not saying you're perfect. I'm not claiming you've never felt negative emotions or that you're some kind of immaculate saint. But there's something in your spiritual composition, something in the way you process pain, something in how you transform negative experiences that doesn't leave permanent dark residue. You feel the pain, you process it, and then you genuinely release it. You don't store it as a weapon. You don't accumulate it as resentment. You don't feed it until it becomes chronic bitterness. And that capacity for clean processing is exactly what makes you spiritually untouchable. The witch searched for where to anchor his attack, and every time he thought he found an entry point, he discovered it had already been healed. Every wound he tried to exploit had already been processed. Every darkness he tried to connect with had been transformed into light. It was like trying to nail something into water. There's no solid surface where the nail can penetrate, and the deeper he went into your energy searching for vulnerabilities, the more he encountered something completely different from what he expected. Instead of the darkness he needed to work with, he found light so genuine it started affecting him. This is what people who pay for witchcraft don't understand. Witches aren't immune to the energies they encounter. When they work with someone full of darkness, that darkness reinforces their own. But when they encounter genuine light, that light confronts them with everything they've chosen to be. And your light confronted him in a way he wasn't prepared to handle. Because here's what very few people know about those who practice dark arts. Most weren't born wanting to dedicate themselves to that. Many were wounded people who found in dark power a way to feel control when life had made them feel completely powerless. People who were so damaged they decided to damage. People who suffered so much they decided to make others suffer. And when this witch looked at your photograph expecting to find another dark soul easy to attack, what he found was a living reminder of everything he had abandoned. He saw someone who had also suffered but chose differently. Someone who knew pain but didn't become its distributor. Someone who had every reason to become bitter but decided to keep their heart open. That fascinated him, and that fascination completely disarmed him. He couldn't complete the job, not because he lacked the knowledge or power to do it, but because something in your essence activated in him memories of who he used to be before choosing the dark path. Something in your light reminded him that he too was once capable of choosing differently. And that's the most devastating irony for those who paid for your destruction. The weapon they hired against you ended up admiring you. For those who want to go deeper, there's exclusive material in the description and pinned comment. Now I need to explain why specifically you have this capacity that most people don't possess. Because it's not coincidence. It's not random spiritual luck. There's a very specific reason why attacks that destroy others simply slide off you without causing permanent damage. The ancient spiritual texts speak of something many have read, but few truly understand: the concept of the divine seal. The invisible mark that certain souls carry that identifies them as protected property of higher forces. It's not poetic metaphor. It's spiritual reality that operates regardless of whether you believe in it or not. When God marks a soul as chosen, that mark functions like an ownership signature that dark forces are obligated to recognize. It's like trying to steal something that has an integrated security system. The thief may want to take it, may have the intention to grab it, but the protection system activates alarms he cannot deactivate. Your spiritual seal activated those alarms the exact moment the witch tried to work against you. He could feel the protection. Not see it with physical eyes, but perceive it with the sensitivity he developed working in spiritual dimensions. And what he perceived clearly indicated he was attempting to attack someone who has backing from authorities he prefers not to confront. You see, there exists a spiritual hierarchy that both forces of light and darkness recognize. And within that hierarchy, there are souls that have protection from levels so high that attacking them is basically declaring war on powers no witch in their right mind would want to face. You are one of those souls. Not because you asked for it, not because you did special rituals to get it, but because you were designated that way before you were born. Because your mission on this earth requires specific protection. Because what you're destined to do is too important to allow spiritual attacks to stop you. The witch recognized that level of protection, and he made a decision those who paid for your destruction never expected. He refused to continue, not out of kindness of heart, out of strategic survival. Because he knows perfectly well what happens when you attack someone protected by the levels he perceived in your energy. The attack bounces back, multiplied, and the attacker ends up receiving everything they tried to send, amplified by the same force they tried to use. He didn't want that destiny for himself, so he stopped. But here's the part those who paid don't know yet. The simple fact of having attempted the attack already activated consequences that cannot be deactivated, because the intention was already registered. The payment was already made. The conspiracy was already documented in dimensions that don't forget and don't forgive attacks against protected souls. The witch may have withdrawn, but those who hired him cannot withdraw from the consequences of what they tried to do. Let me explain exactly what's happening right now with those people, because you've probably already noticed signs without knowing what they meant. The spiritual law of sowing and reaping isn't an optional suggestion. It's universal mechanics that operate automatically without anyone needing to activate them manually. What you sow, you reap. What you send, returns. What you wish for others, eventually you experience yourself. And those who sowed destruction in your direction are already beginning to harvest exactly what they planted. Observe the people you suspect. Observe without obsessing, without seeking revenge, simply with neutral awareness of what's occurring. You're going to notice patterns that confirm something changed drastically in their lives since they tried to attack you. Financial problems that emerged from nowhere. Conflicts in relationships that used to be stable. Opportunities that slipped away inexplicably. Health that started failing without clear medical cause. Mental confusion that won't let them think clearly. Everything they wanted for you is arriving to them, not because you wished it, because they themselves activated it when they directed that energy in your direction, and that energy found an impenetrable barrier that sent it directly back to its origin. This isn't dark magic operating in your favor. It's spiritual justice functioning exactly as it was designed to function, protecting those who have protection, returning to attackers the exact weight of their own intentions. And the beauty of this system is that you don't need to do absolutely anything for it to work. You don't need to wish evil. You don't need to plan revenge. You don't need to contaminate your own energy with thoughts of retaliation. The system operates alone, automatically, perfectly. Your only job is to maintain the light that makes you untouchable. Keep being who you are. Continue processing pain without converting it to poison. Preserve the energetic purity that made even a witch stop fascinated instead of attacking. While you maintain your light, the system takes care of the rest. While you keep consciously choosing not to become the darkness they tried to send you, the forces of protection keep operating tirelessly in your defense. Now I want to reveal to you the specific signs that confirm someone tried to send spiritual work against you, because you probably experienced some of these things without knowing they were failed attack attempts. At some point in the last few weeks, you probably had a strange dream. Not a common nightmare from everyday stress. Something different. A dream where you felt a dark presence trying to approach but unable to reach you. As if there was an invisible barrier between you and what was trying to touch you. That dream wasn't random creation from your subconscious. It was your spiritual perception, registering in symbolic form the attack that was being sent and the protection that was blocking it. You also probably noticed that at a certain point you started thinking in an unusually negative way. Thoughts that didn't feel completely yours. Internal voices suggesting everything is wrong, nothing makes sense, you should give up. Thoughts that appeared from nowhere and felt strangely foreign to your normal way of processing life. That was the attack's energy trying to find entry into your mind, searching for any crack where it could infiltrate, testing every door of your internal fortress to see if any had been left open. But it found no open door, and those thoughts eventually dissipated because they had nowhere to anchor. They came, tried to stay, and finding no resonant darkness inside you, simply vanished. Another sign you probably experienced was unexplainable fatigue. Tiredness that didn't match your level of physical activity. A sensation of energetic weight that had no logical cause. As if you were carrying something invisible that was draining your vitality. That was your protection system working actively to neutralize what was being sent. It requires energy to maintain a spiritual shield against sustained attack. And your physical body felt the cost of that constant defense. But you also noticed that fatigue eventually passed. That there was a moment where you suddenly felt inexplicably lighter, as if something that was pressing against you simply stopped pressing. That was the moment the witch decided to stop, when your protection definitively won and the attack ceased. Since that moment, you've probably noticed gradual improvement in multiple areas of your life. Not explosive, not dramatic, but consistent. as if invisible obstacles that were in your path had suddenly been removed. Opportunities flowing more easily, right people appearing at right moments, mental clarity you didn't have weeks ago, renewed energy that allows you to advance with strength you had lost. All of that is direct result of the attack's release. The energy your system was using to defend you is now available to propel you. The spiritual resources that were busy blocking attacks are now free to attract blessings. The battle ended, and you didn't just survive. You won without even knowing you were fighting. Now I need to warn you about something important, because this knowledge carries responsibility you cannot ignore. Knowing you're spiritually untouchable can generate two very different reactions, and the reaction you choose will determine whether your protection maintains or weakens. The first reaction is arrogance, feeling superior to those who attacked you, looking at them with contempt from your position of protection, using this knowledge to inflate your ego and feel better than others. If you choose that reaction, I warn you of something the most ancient spiritual traditions consistently teach. Divine protection doesn't protect arrogance, it protects purity. And the moment you transform your light into a tool of ego, that light starts to dim. Not because God punishes you for feeling good about yourself, but because arrogance is a form of darkness. And darkness, even if it's your own darkness generated by ego, creates the entry points that didn't exist before. Suddenly there's somewhere to anchor attacks that used to slide off. Stay humble, not from weakness, from wisdom of someone who understands the protection you have is a gift, not personal achievement. It was given, not earned, and it can be reduced if you use it for purposes contrary to its nature. The second reaction is conscious gratitude, recognizing that something bigger than you is operating in your favor, genuinely thanking for protection you didn't deserve, but received. Using this knowledge not to elevate yourself above others, but to maintain commitment to the light that makes you untouchable. If you choose this reaction, your protection doesn't just maintain, it amplifies. Because genuine gratitude is a frequency that resonates perfectly with the forces that protect you. It's like tuning a radio to the exact frequency where the signal is clearest and most powerful. Every time you consciously thank for your protection, you strengthen the connection with the sources of that protection. Every time you humbly recognize that something greater operates in your favor, that something greater responds by expanding its operation. I'm not asking you to fake humility you don't feel. I'm explaining real spiritual mechanics. Arrogance weakens protection, gratitude strengthens it. It's not punishment or reward. It's simply how energy works in spiritual dimensions. Now let me reveal what will happen in the coming days as a result of everything I just explained. Because there are specific manifestations you're going to experience that will confirm all of this is absolutely real. First, you're going to have sudden clarity about who was behind this. Not necessarily physical proof you could take to a court, but internal certainty so solid it won't need external confirmation. You're simply going to know. And when you look at that person, something in their energy will confirm what your spirit already identified. Second, that person is going to act strange when they're near you. Uncomfortable, nervous, unable to look you directly in the eyes, because at a spiritual level they know that you know, not consciously, but their spirit recognizes that your spirit identified what they did, and that discomfort will be visible to anyone who knows what to look for. Third, you're going to receive confirmation from unexpected sources. Someone will casually mention something that connects pieces you didn't know were missing. Information will reach you in ways that seem like coincidence, but that your spirit will recognize as divine confirmation of everything I'm revealing to you. Fourth, you're going to experience a wave of opportunities that seem to arrive from nowhere. Doors that open without you touching them. People who appear offering exactly what you need. Resources that flow from sources you didn't even know existed. This is spiritual compensation for what they tried to steal from you. The universe balancing the equation in your favor. Fifth, you're going to feel peace so deep it will surprise even yourself. Not peace of ignorance that doesn't know it was attacked. Peace of victory from someone who knows they were attacked, knows they survived, and knows they're more protected than ever. It's a warrior's peace after a battle won. Peace that no one can take from you because it was forged in the fire of defeated attack. All of this is going to manifest in your life in the coming days. Not because I declare it, because it's already in motion. Because the forces that protected you don't just defend, they also compensate. And the compensation for everything they tried to do to you is already being processed in dimensions that operate faster than physical time. But there's something more I need to reveal about the witch who refused to attack you. Because this part of the story has implications that go beyond your individual situation. When he experienced your light the way he experienced it, something changed in him that cannot be reversed. I'm not saying he suddenly became a person of light. Years of dark practice aren't erased with one experience, but a seed was planted that will eventually produce fruit. He's going to start questioning his choices. Not immediately, not dramatically, but persistently. Every time he takes someone's photo to work on, he's going to remember yours. Every time he prepares to send darkness, he's going to remember the light he found. And that memory is going to gradually erode the conviction he needs to continue doing what he does. Your light didn't just protect you, it planted the possibility of redemption in someone who had forgotten redemption exists. This is what the chosen do without even trying. They don't preach, they don't actively convert, they simply shine. And their brightness affects dimensions they don't even know they're affecting. People who will never know they were touched. Realities that are altered by the simple presence of genuine light in a world full of darkness. You did that, without sermons, without conscious intention, without even knowing you were doing it. Your simple existence as a being of light affected someone who had dedicated their life to darkness. And if your light could do that to someone actively practicing dark arts, imagine what it's constantly doing to normal people who cross your path. Imagine how many lives you're affecting simply by being who you are. Imagine the impact your presence has in dimensions you don't consciously perceive. You are much more important than they've made you believe. Your existence has spiritual weight that completely transcends what you can measure with ordinary human perception. And that's exactly what those who hate you unconsciously perceive and cannot tolerate. They can't explain it with words. They couldn't articulate why your presence bothers them so much. But their spirit perceives your light, and that light constantly reminds them of the darkness they chose to cultivate. That's why they attacked you. Not for something bad you did, for something good you are. And that's why they failed. Because the light they tried to extinguish is exactly what makes them incapable of extinguishing it. For those who made it here and want to go deeper into how to consciously operate with the spiritual protection you already possess, there's specific material that costs less than a pizza and comes with a complete audiobook plus a 5-minute meditation guide as a special bonus. If you feel you deserve conscious access to the protection that already operates automatically in your life, the link is available in the description and pinned comment of this video. Now, I want to speak directly to you, from Chosen One to Chosen One, about something you need to hear that very few people in your life are going to tell you. What you experienced wasn't an isolated event. It wasn't the first time they tried to destroy you, and it probably won't be the last. Because the light you carry isn't going to stop bothering those who chose darkness. The more you shine, the more you're going to activate reactions in people who prefer that no one shines. But now you have knowledge you didn't have before. You know you're protected. You know attacks bounce back. You know those who attack you end up destroying themselves while you keep advancing. That knowledge changes everything, because you no longer have to live in fear of what they might do to you. You no longer have to spend energy worrying about conspiracies in the shadows. You no longer have to feel vulnerable to evil you cannot see. The evil you cannot see cannot touch you, period. Not because you're stronger than it, because something stronger than both of you protects you from it. Now your job isn't to worry about future attacks. It's simply to maintain what makes you untouchable. Keep processing pain without accumulating it. Keep choosing light when darkness would be easier. Keep being who you've always been, but now with awareness of why that matters so much. Your kindness isn't weakness. It's the most advanced spiritual defense technology that exists. Your capacity to forgive isn't naivety. It's a cleaning system that prevents darkness from accumulating. Your refusal to become what hurt you isn't lack of courage. It's the most powerful decision you can make to guarantee your own invulnerability. Maintain that. Protect it fiercely. Because as long as you maintain it, nothing and no one can touch you in ways that really matter. You're going to face more attacks. You're going to encounter more people who want to destroy you. You're going to go through more moments where it seems darkness is winning. But now you know the truth. Darkness was never winning. It was only confirming you're luminous enough to be worth attacking. And every failed attack is one more victory in the record of protection that only strengthens with every test overcome. The witch who was supposed to destroy you ended up admiring you. The people who paid for your ruin are harvesting the ruin they sowed. And you're here, stronger than before, more aware than before, more protected than before. That's your reality. Not the one your enemies tried to create. Not the one darkness wanted to impose on you. Your real reality. The one force is more powerful than any witchcraft guarantee for you. They gave your photo to a witch expecting your destruction. The witch ended up fascinated by your light. Those who paid are suffering what they wanted you to suffer. And you discovered you're far more untouchable than you ever imagined. That's how things work when heaven decides to protect someone. The enemy's plans reverse. Weapons forged against you don't prosper. And every attack becomes confirmation that you are exactly who the forces of light say you are. A chosen soul operating under protection no darkness can penetrate. If you recognize this revelation explains phenomena you've experienced without being able to understand, if you feel in your spirit the truth of what I just shared, if you're ready to consciously walk as the protected being you always were without knowing it, write 777 in the comments to amplify this frequency of revealed divine protection. Subscribe to this channel and turn on all notifications to receive more revelations about how your nature, as a chosen one, operates at levels most people don't even know exist. Share this video with someone you suspect has also been spiritually attacked and needs to know their light is exactly what makes them invulnerable to the darkness being sent against them. And before you leave, click on the video appearing on your screen right now to discover how your spiritual protection is attracting opportunities so perfect they seem designed specifically for your life. Because they were. Together, we are stronger.